Good morning students, welcome to online class. Hope you are keeping well by the grace of God. So students, today I am going to teach you social science history segment and from your NCERT book chapter number 2, Nationalism in India. Students, I have already taught you this chapter and discussed about this chapter. You have noted down some questions and I hope you have solved the questions. This is a review of the chapter, not the entire chapter, not full chapter. And you open your notebook. I am going to give you some questions and simultaneously I am going to tell you the answer also. You have to memorize. So the first World War, guys, when the first World War took place in between 1914 to 18, India had to face an intense economic crisis because that time it was British rule during the colonial period. So it was a huge economic depression. Apart from this, in between 1921 in the year, millions of people, they died because of famine and epidemic. People died of famine, on starvation. They were on starvation. Due to starvation, millions of people, they died. And after that, epidemic took place. So there was a massive loss of population at that time, during that time, World War and post-World War. So guys, I have already taught you, and now you write question number 1. What were the 3 proposals regarding non-cooperation movement? What were the 3 proposals regarding non-cooperation movement as suggested by Mahatma Gandhi? As suggested by Mahatma Gandhi. Write the answer. Gandhiji proposed that the movement should unfold in stages. That means Gandhiji wanted that step by step people will start the movement. Once again, I repeat, Gandhiji proposed that the movement should unfold in stages. Roman number 1. Surrender of titles that the government awarded. That means whoever the personalities or Indians, they were awarded any title by British government, they will surrender the title. After the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Rabindranath Tagore, he also returned that title, Knights. So, Knight title he returned. Now Roman number 2. Boycott of civil services, whatever the government services. Boycott, B-O-Y-C-O-T-T. Boycott of civil services, comma, army police, army, comma, police, courts, C-O-U-R-T-S, courts, and legislative, L-E-G-I-S-L-A-T-I-V-E, legislative, comma, councils, comma, schools, and foreign goods. That means boycott movement, under the boycott movement. So these are the factors. Indians in the boycott movement, they refused these things. They boycotted. Now 3, Roman number 3. In case the government used repression, that means torture or suppression, stern action. So in case the government used repression, comma, a full civil disobedience campaign would be launched. In case the government used repression, a full civil disobedience campaign, CAMPAIGA campaign, would be launched. Now the next question, question number 2. Write about Rowlatt Act, 1919. What was Rowlatt Act? I discussed about Rowlatt Act in my previous lecture. So write about Rowlatt Act. Guys, the answer is Roman number 1, point wise. In the year 1919, the British government passed a rule called Rowlatt Act. The British government passed a rule called Rowlatt Act, full stop, under which the government had the authority and power to arrest people and keep them in prison. I already taught you, I remember, I explained this. And people and keep them in prison without any trial if they are suspected, without any trial, no court case, no trial, if they are suspected with the charge of terrorism, During that time, whoever used to take part in movement or revolt, independence movement, they were patriots. They were patriots according to us, but according to British, they were terrorists. So that is why the charge of terrorism, full stop. It also provided the government, write fast guys, it also provided the government with enormous, ENORMOUS, with enormous powers to repress, that means suppress, powers to repress political activities. Suppress, to regulate, to overpower, repress political activities. And the last point is, the act was ill-framed. It was not framed properly. The act was ill-framed as Black Act, as B capital, Act, A capital, within inverted comma. The act was ill-framed as Black Act by the people of India, who protested the Rowlatt Act. Indians, they used to call this act as Black Act. Now today's last question is, explain the issue behind the Khilafat movement. I already taught you about the Ali brothers. So Gandhiji, he sought help from Muslim also, so that the movement, it would be more strong. So Khilafat movement. So the question is, explain the issue behind the Khilafat movement, or what was Khilafat agitation, Answer,